went off to college where the Vietnam War heated up really hot by about the beginning of my junior year. And SDS, which had been founded a couple of years earlier in Ann Arbor, was spreading throughout the country, and we had an SDS chapter. And I joined it pretty promptly. It was a democratic reform organization. It was lobbying for participatory democracy, where people could make decisions of a national scale on a local basis. But then, you know, as the war dragged on, people got more frustrated and disgusted and annoyed and horrified. The organization moved farther to the left, and this was fine with me because my parents were communists and I'd been brought up in a household where that kind of doctrine was familiar to me, so the more radical it got, the happier I was. And so for about 5 years that went on in a fever pitch until the spring strike of 1970, which was a reaction to the killings of students by National Guard at Kent State University in Ohio, but also the killing of students at Jackson State College in Mississippi, where once again the National Guard, I think it was the state police in that case, had killed a couple students too in a demonstration. So that shut the whole country down, because SDS by that time had chapters on every campus, and that semester kind of didn't really finish. And I wasn't at UMass at that point, but I was told at UMass had a particularly fabulous spring strike. And, the guy that I replaced here, a superstar lecturer named Jack Deaver, had a stage set up out here somewhere in the lawns and drew like 4,000 people for his tirades. And then I came to UMass, where the anti-war protest was practically a daily event, and the level of student activism and commitment was amazing. And where every radical organization ever invented, and the few that hadn't been invented yet were operating. And it went on like that through the end of the war in 1975, but it didn't really stop there either. The ROTC building over there was firebombed at one point. That was the heaviest thing that happened on the campus. It makes a difference when you've got a hot selective service card in your wallet. It's like you can never relax when that's the case. Well, one thing I think that, again, learning by the negative example of the 60s, the veterans came back from the war and formed their own organizations like VVAW, the Vietnam Veterans Against the War. But the student left was reluctant to make common cause with them. The Vietnam veterans were not warmly welcomed back, which is a mistake that I really regret now. I wish that we'd reached out to them. But we were kind of afraid of them, to tell you the truth. I mean, they came back, and a lot of them had seen very violent things, and a lot of them were themselves very upset by what had happened, and they just seemed scary to us. What I would recommend is reaching out to veterans from Iraq as they come back, inviting them, as many of us have, to classes if they want to talk.